Good morning everyone, it's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and this video is geared more towards beginners, not quite older players who know what this is all about, what this system is. So I have Milim brought up, the brand new Dark Milim, and we have her at the ability release screen. So we are at level 5, she is level 100, level 5 is where this begins to be locked until you have all of the dupes for her. But then there's an EX spot right here, and these are all on fire, it's making my game lag. This is additional buffs, and this takes extra currency. So EX, let's go to a unit that I don't have EX awakened at all. Gabiru, right? The 4-star unit. Go to ability release, and we go to his EX board, and you can see that these are not done, but you can get 2% guard power, you can get 18 HP, you can get 7 attack, you can get defense plus 6 for a lot. But this takes the big rocks and then the really big rocks. And you can only get these really big rocks from the EX ability release stage, which takes the red tickets, which is just a funny meme on this channel because sometimes, most of the time, they're pretty useless. But if you go into your battles and you go into your training tab right here, you have the EX ability release quest and you have the normal ability release quest. So this is where you get the small, medium, and large rocks, and then this is where you get the very big rocks. And it takes 1 ticket every time to beat this stage. Now the first time you beat it, it's nice because it gives you 25 each, plus whatever the stage naturally drops for you. But as soon as this is over, this can give you 1, this can give you 1, or this can give you sometimes 3, if you get incredibly lucky. But most of the time when I play these stages, I get 1 rock per ticket, which is not great. But they are broken out individually by typing, so these give you the specific times to get those effects. This gives you the defense, this gives you the attack, this gives you the HP stats. But the thing to note about EX boards in general, so going back to Milim, and we go back to the ability release, is that null units are not created equal, okay? This rainbow one is generic. This gives you a 3% boost if you have this character slotted in with another character of the same typing. So if you have 2 dark units attached to each other as battle and support, and they both have this EX ability effect button released, that's 6% extra stats because you're getting it from the battle unit and you're getting it from the support unit. The support unit, that is the only thing that will go into effect from the EX board if they're in support. If you have a support unit with all of this done, it does not matter. Only this one matters. However, the battle unit gets, what you can see right here, an extra 4% crit damage. They get 60% HP, 18% or 18 attack, and 26 defense. But this is in accordance with the number of dark characters assigned to battle slots. So this defense plus 26 is actually 26 times 4, right? Because you can have a max of 4 other dark units on the team. So this is a very big number then, because 26 times 4, and then times 2 because there's 2 of these slots, right? You can increase your defense a lot if you build a mono dark team. Now, a lot of teams don't necessarily run that well being full mono, so you'd have a mix of, like, you'd probably have the hero being space, and then you'd have someone else doing something else, like Water Shuna being your alt booster. So that's already 2 units down from your dark, even though Milim isn't alt booster, so that wasn't a good example. But then you see that attack, you get 18 attack times 5 times 4 because there's 4 dark units, and that number can get out of hand very quickly. But, like I said, all units are not created equal because Milim buffs herself, right? Increases her own following stats in accordance with number of dark characters. Attack plus 18. But if we go find an older unit, a not quite as good unit, let's go to Guy right here. We go to ability release, and we will go to his EX board, and you see that his numbers are much lower. Plus 6, plus 4, plus 15. He gets crit damage and pierce power, which is cool, but whatever. I don't have this awakened either. But 6 versus 24, 4 versus, 14 or 15. There is a reason for that, because this increases other troop members' stats in accordance with the number of fire characters. So there are units that buff themselves based on how many same typing units they have with them, and there are units that buff the entire team's stats based on how many same type units there are. So this guy is boosting the entire team's attack +4 for every fire unit. So if you have an entire fire team, then you're going to go, well, 4 times 5 and then times 4. But that's not going to himself, that's going to everybody. So it's team-wide support. And these units are broken out. Some of them are self-buffers. A lot of the new characters are self-buffers. Most of the old characters are team buffers, so therefore they're going to pad the stats of everybody. And to help you out, I have made this handy-dandy spreadsheet of who does what, right? EX Awakening board, 5-star units, and free-to-play 4-star units. So I've broken it out by meta, by character, and listed whether, the substats that they get in the yellow board. So, loading. Over here. So Benimaru gets crit damage and pierce power. So I have noted that right here. 2% crit damage, 2% pierce power. These effects also have a required character to be with them in a battle slot, so actually participating in the fight. So if you are running this Benimaru and you have this board done, if you don't have Shuna with him in a battle slot, you will not get these effects. You just won't. If you have Shuna, then good, you get an extra 2% crit damage and extra 2% pierce power. But if you don't, sorry. So they do have required units right here for them to activate. And then you also have, I've listed whether or not they buff the team or they buff themselves. All of the Octogram units, Octogram Guy, we don't have a water one, Octogram Ramaris, Octogram Milim, are all self-buffers just flat out, automatically. But you can see that we have Water right here. Water 2.0 is a very good meta. Shuna, Shion, Hinata, free-to-play Rimuru. Shuna is a self-buffer. Shion, as a support unit, is supporting the team even more with her EX board, and she also gives herself 4% crit damage. Hinata, being the DPS nuker, is buffing herself based on how many water units there are, and Rimuru, as an orb changing support, is again helping the team. So I have broken this down accordingly based on all metas. I have updated this up to and including the anniversary units that have dropped. So the only thing that we're missing now is Fire 2.0, which would be another probably 4 slots right here. That will come next month. But I've also highlighted the units that I, in my own opinion, determined that would be useful for awakening their boards. So we have, for the water team, we have Old Velzard as the primary old DPS. And then we have Water 2.0 in its entirety because it just is a team that runs very well. And, Shuna is going to buff herself, Shion's buffing everyone, Hinata's buffing herself, Rimuru's buffing everyone. They're all buffing each other, so Hinata can hit harder and everyone else can help her get there. So I feel like that team by itself is very, very good to run with the full EX board awakened. Wind, in my opinion, not as many options. You've got Wind Diablo as the nuker, you've got Training as support, and you have Geld as the orb changer. I wouldn't really suggest people go for Dino. I mean, his debuffs are cool, but I just don't use him very often. There are other units that obviously you can, based on whoever you have, but this is assuming you have everybody, right? Space, Space 1.0, Milim, the hero, Space Rimuru, Carrion, all fantastic units. Rimuru is support, Carrion is support, but he's also buffing himself. The hero and Milim buff themselves. And we have Misery down here because she's free, and she is a fantastic green support, so I have included her. I haven't used Leon yet. I did buy him, so I will do a showcase for him, a very, very late showcase, but I will do one for him. And then we just kind of go down Earth, Light, Dark. I think all three of these units are good. Diablo 2.0, Diablo 1.0 are good for awakening their buffs. So here is a very basic overview of who I think you should focus on as far as the EX board is done. One thing to note is that you do not need to have full dupes. You don't need to have the 5th board fully done for you to do EX stuff. You can do that at any time. They could be level 1. No, you could be at like stage 1, but then you can immediately skip over to the EX board if you want and put these in. But just remember that this is for same type support units. These vary depending on how much effect they give and if they buff themselves or buff the team. And then these effects all vary per unit, and they also have a required unit be with them in the fight to activate. So hopefully that is a decent overview of the EX board for a lot of you newer players who are just coming into this game, who look at this and be like, what the fuck is this? Where do I get this shit? What does it do? So let me know if this guide helped you out in the comments below. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you later.